Now to Venezuela.
Protests on the streets of Venezuela turning deadly.
All across Venezuela, hungry children, political crisis that has left the country in chaos.
Rotten beef is also sold here in this market.
Maduro, whose election in 2018 was declared illegitimate, who support Maduro and eat or go hungry.
Piles of rubbish are also a source for food here.
The Venezuelan people suffer.
The escalating refugee crisis in Venezuela.
Crumbling healthcare system.
Political turmoil in Venezuela.
Humanitarian crisis.
Venezuela, once the richest country in Latin America, sitting on the largest oil reserves in the entire world, now has the highest inflation rate in the entire world. Food and basic medicine inaccessible for the majority of its citizens. Major allegations of corruption in the government. Venezuela has become one of the most dangerous countries in the world with one of the highest murder rates. Everyday people from all classes have been forced to flee this country. We're talking over 5 million people, a mass exodus. The average salary per month? $3. In this video, we will follow the trail of the Venezuelan refugees, hear their stories, and meet a man who is giving these Venezuelans a second chance.
Mercy! Imagina esse ano se esse hit pegar.
Mas olha agora, o canalha chegou.
Vai dar.
Following day, Piranha.
Do you wanna die?
Welcome back to Pacaraima. We're right on the border here. You can see the trucks and everything. These trucks are going to Venezuela right now. The border is like right there, 100 meters away, maximum. This bus was left in front of the border and lit on fire by Brazilians to try and stop the huge influx of refugees here. There are mixed feelings here. There's lots of people helping out, but obviously this town has completely changed. In the last video, we spoke to people who have told us the impacts of the refugee crisis here. Today's going to be absolutely extreme travel day. We are going to, it's going to be like 36 hours. We're going to explore this town, Pacaraima, meet the refugees. We're going to be going into a slum down the road. This city used to be significantly smaller. But then when the refugee crisis started happening, it's kind of turned into this almost Venezuelan town. All over the streets there's Venezuelans. So we're gonna go into the slum, meet some of them, hear their story. And then we're gonna take like a, I don't know how long it's gonna take, 15-hour drive south to Manaus, which is like the heart of the Amazon, because there's huge settlements of Venezuelans there. And then we're taking a flight to the complete other side of Brazil. It's all gonna be in this video, so it's gonna be a humongous video. But for now, we're gonna head to the slum and meet some people. So you can see, as I'm walking along here, you'll see the some of the Venezuelan refugees. There's a big Venezuelan flag here again, but yeah, the journey to get from Venezuela into Brazil is extremely dangerous. You have to pay, because now the border's closed due to COVID, you have to pay what's called a coyote, which is basically like a human smuggler. And you have to travel through this no man's land, and because it's like an illegal crossing, you are breaking Venezuelan law and Brazilian law. There is an area where it's like almost guaranteed, from what we've been told, to be robbed. And you can get in there from this side. We were talking to people who said that we can give some cigarettes to some Venezuelan border guards and we could get through. So a lot of the people, just even before getting into Brazil, what they have to face is extreme, but then from then on, it's so intense. You'll see today the journey that some of these people make, and I'm sure we'll hear some of their stories, but yeah, just the whole town here is littered with Venezuelans. So those clips that you saw were us walking through the main town, and keep in mind that once upon a time this was quite a sleepy town, but you can see now it's quite hustling and bustling, and I would say you know, a large majority of those people are Venezuelans. And something interesting that you would have seen in the clips there is there's a lot of Venezuelan number plates. And those cars would have come in before the pandemic when the border was open. Now it's not really possible, but there's some Venezuelans that have been here for a long time, but some are more recent. We've got a source here that told us that there's still 500 Venezuelans coming into Brazil every single day illegally. So we're leaving the main town area now, and we're heading into the more slum area where I think many of the Venezuelans live. Temberley. Okay. We met a lovely lady and her baby here. When did you come from Venezuela?
3 años.
3 years. You came in legally. Are there many people that come in through people smuggling?
The baby came illegally. It's very hard, very difficult. They might have problems with the police from here and from there. If you're not legally or if you don't have all your things there okay, they might send you back. So it is dangerous. She feels welcomed and she likes to be here. The thing she likes the most about here is that there is everything for her and for her baby. Especially food for the boy.
You're from Venezuela? In Venezuela, no food.
Entonces cuando preguntamos... Disculpe. Sorry. When we asked about what made them come, they all wanted to answer. There is a major lack of food. They all agreed on it. Also health, security, there are no jobs. They're thankful to Brazil for welcoming them and letting them live here because they cannot be in their country anymore because of the situation, especially the economic situation and the hunger.
Hey, well done. I was in Caracas.
Él estuvo en Caracas.
2019. Caracas?
¿De qué parte estuviste?
All over the city. Petare? You're from Petare?
Petare, sí.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
¿Qué tal? Ben.
Yeah, buen. Gracias. Gracias. So you can see just how welcoming the people are, and Petare is one of the biggest slums in the whole of Latin America. That man there was from there and he was very happy to hear that I paid a visit to his neighborhood. The reason they responded like that, it's quite notorious for being like one of the most dangerous places, not just in this part of the world, but in the entire world. So they got quite excited about that, right? But they're so welcoming.
They were super welcoming.
Yeah,
they
like
loved
wanted
it.
to be
They
on
loved
camera.
it.
Yeah.
It was nice.
But yeah, like they were saying that obviously here they've been welcomed and they've got access to food, so.
Exactly. Gracias.
You can see there's these houses popping up in the valley. Quite interesting because you know the famous favelas or barrios or slums that you see in Latin America, often they start like this, right? So this is the beginning stage of what in the future could be a huge slum or favela, and so there'll be houses put up all over the hillsides and things eventually. We met a man called Jose who's really kindly invited us into his home. This home here costs $60 roughly a month, including expenses. He wasn't able to bring any money from Venezuela, so he's just like trying to pick up odd jobs around this area, but it's not exactly easy at the moment. There's not a lot of jobs going because of the extremely high demand of this huge influx of Venezuelans. He came firstly by himself to kind of scope everything out, then he's eventually brought his entire family here, and him and his entire family have lived here since February 2020. So let's have a look at the living conditions here. Unfortunately, I had some issues with my microphone, but I'll just explain this next part with a voiceover. So here we are arriving in the kitchen, meeting Jose's family. He was explaining to us that it's a very humble house and they don't have much.
They have chicken. He got a piece of chicken to give to his family today, but he is not sure about lunch for tomorrow. This is the only food they have.
So this is literally the only food they have. Jose was explaining that they literally live meal to meal. And here's Jose's lovely wife opening the fridge for us. You can see it's empty. There's no food in there. Completely empty. This is the bedroom, obviously. He was explaining to us that he wants to grow some crops down here so he can be more self-sufficient, grow some crops for his family. There are subtitles available for this video in English and some other language. I recommend using those for the rest of the video. You can activate the subtitles in the cogwheel settings here on YouTube.
De acuerdo a Dios, la oportunidad que Dios le dé a uno.
He cannot be thinking much of the future because right now he has to think about to provide the food for his family today. So he's always thinking of how to pay the rent, how to pay the bills, how to get food for them, and not think about the future. The future, he will seize the opportunity when God gives him. I believe I have to do the right things and live my life honestly. I'm glad to say that I've been here for 1 year already, and I've never had any business or deals with the government.
Apologies for that audio there, but you can see Jose, very welcoming guy and living meal to meal basically. But he seemed optimistic, which was nice. We did just meet another man walking up and he was explaining to us they came here skinny and now they've been able to gain weight. Well, he said that they've gone fat, so even that's quite profound. This is like the gateway. There are people that stay here like you've seen, but vast majority keep going, and that's where we're gonna go now. Continue 15 hours drive from here. We'll meet you in Manaus, the hub of the Amazon, and we're gonna see the programs there. We've got contacts there. They're going to show us, you know, just the pure scale of Venezuelans there, and maybe some of the programs of what they're doing to help. So we just found a shared taxi. We're about to get on the road, but I just want to show you this military camp here. You have to be quite careful, but there is an extremely heavy military presence here. There's cars patrolling the streets, military cars. My friend Diego is saying that it's not normal for Brazil to have such heavy military presence. Anyway, let's go. Let's start this crazy long trip. I think 3 to 4 hours have passed and we've made it to the bus station. So we've got like 12 hours in this bus. It's going to be an insane day. And then we have a flight after this. But anyway, there's huge Venezuelan refugee camps over here. Not sure if you can make that out, but there's thousands of people over there and Venezuelans in tents and things. Jump on the bus with all these people and head to the hub of the Amazon. But I won't bore you. We'll probably be there in about 5 seconds for you, but 12 hours for me. Obrigado.
One eternity later.
Oh, so humid. 12 hours later. Made it. Oh, the lens keeps fogging up. Been in the AC all night and then come out into the middle of the Amazon. So as I was saying before the camera fogged up there, we've arrived in Manaus, which is basically the center city of the Amazon, biggest city in the Amazon. This is where, hey, bom dia, bom dia.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Hey, bem-vindo ao Amazonas, Brasil.
Ah, obrigado, obrigado. He's just saying welcome to the Amazon in Brazil, so nice people here. This is like an industrial hub. The biggest factory for Honda motorbikes, if you saw in a past video I made, is here. So there's lots of different industries here. We just had a coffee, changed the shirt. We're going to go and meet the Venezuelans around this area and see the living conditions. So it should be interesting. Okay, so we're here at the bus station with Tulio. And Tulio works with Venezuelan refugees. That's what you do every day, right? Yes. And you can see some of them behind us in some military tents. Would you mind just explaining to us what you do?
We work with the Venezuelan refugees in order to provide work opportunities. We support these people in order to have the integration in Brazilian society. We have more than 4,000 families registered in our wow. organization. And these families, we are in touch with them in order to identify their needs and provide support, the emergency support, the food with cleaning items in order to support, in order to provide them a better life here in our city, in our country.
So you do help with the emergency, the food and the hygiene and these kind of things, but your ultimate goal is to really help integrate them into Brazilian society by providing training and jobs, right?
Yes.
So now we're going to go and see some of your emergency response projects, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So we've come to Hermanito's headquarters. This is what they call the bazaar. The Venezuelans come in and choose a few items of clothing each. A lot of these people, we saw them yesterday coming over the border. They've just got plastic bags full of their belongings because they're fleeing from an absolute nightmare. So they can come here and they can kind of start to rebuild their life that way. This is where they teach the adults courses and different skills and things. And then they've got a little play area for the kids while their parents are studying and things. Here's a lot of photos of the different people that they've helped and the different programs they have. They help them prepare resumes on the computer and then they help them distribute the resumes to potential employers. So we've come down a floor. Here we have like the food packs that they distribute here. So we've got things like rice, sugar, beans, sausages, coffee, crackers, oil, like, you know, the essentials to keep you going. There's some Venezuelans that are going to come and pick up some of these packs now. We've met a lovely family here who have come to pick up food packs here. You guys came from Venezuela separately or together?
They all come separately.
Was that through the coyote crossing, the illegal crossing?
She was the only one that entered legally. The rest of the family, about 10 people, came here illegally through the coyote. She had to walk a lot barefoot. Some people couldn't do the crossing. Older people couldn't do the entire crossing, so they had to take them on the shoulders. And it is scary because they are afraid of the police all the time. They have mud until the knees. It's something they have to go through in order to have something to eat here. They prefer to go through that process, but at least have something to eat here, not be dying from starvation as they were in Venezuela. It's because of the government. The government has hurt the country. Although they have a better life here now, they have family back there and they know they're suffering. But they are thankful to God and to Brazil for taking them in and helping them, because at least they still don't have much. They still sleep on the ground, but at least they have enough to eat.
Anybody watching this video, what would your message be to them about supporting this project? How important is it?
If you're in need, come to Hermanitos. They will always bring you hope. They will always give you the chances to succeed. She hopes that they keep doing this work and keep helping people. So for the people that have the meanings to help Hermanitos, please help. For every grain of sand that is donated, they can multiply it and help so many people.
A little bit goes a really long way.
Exactly.
Okay. Gracias.
She's asking for a wheelchair for her son.
Tiene esta condición, él está operado aquí, tiene operación y tiene válvula en la cabeza.
He has a brain condition, he has a valve on his brain. Because of it, he cannot walk.
Venezuela.
Unrelatable hardships, of course. You can see if getting her daughter to cross the border with what's called a coyote bribed the border security. Life in Venezuela is not livable. From the people we've spoke to, from what I've seen when I visited there, it's not okay there, obviously. That's not news probably to most of you. They have to take these extreme risks, pushing through these unimaginable situations, crossing borders with mud up to over your knees. Those food packs there, $10 roughly, give or take, it depends on the exchange rate, but around 10 US dollars buys one of those food packs, and that should supply a family of 4 with food for 15 days. So one of those food packs, $10 for 15 days supply of food for the essentials, nutritious food, beans, rice, things that fill the stomach and are nutritious as well. Also, if any of you are interested in helping out with that wheelchair there, send me an email and I'll put you in touch with Tulio here. The wheelchair costs about 500 to 1,000 US dollars. So if you want to help out with that, send me an email. I'll leave my information below. Having a disabled son when you don't have money to eat, obviously it's just incomprehensible. We've come to a favela here in Manaus. We are going to go into a Venezuelan household just quickly because we got a flight to catch. But yeah, if you want to check out that information, $10 supplies a family of 4, 15 days of food, 2 weeks. Buenos días. Bom dia. Bom dia. Bom dia. Hola.
Muchas gracias.
Bom dia. Bom dia. How many people sleep in this room?
¿Cuántas personas duermen en este cuarto?
En este cuarto solo está mi familia. Mi esposo.
She lives here with her husband and 3 kids. In the other room lives the other family. Her cousin, husband, and the 3 kids as well. The thing is, that family is illegally here. So they cannot be renting any other place. So they don't have like mattresses and stuff. Their conditions are a little bit
worse. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ustedes.
So what you'll find a lot around here is that families will come together and they will kind of share housing. So there's a few Venezuelan families around here and they'll like split the rent. So this is 10 people living here from different families and the rent costs $100, so $10 each a month. It's a lot better from where they came from. They've got food on the shelves and in the fridge. So you can see Tulio is a huge part of that. He brings food here regularly, and now because of COVID, they've got different structures. They deliver it, some of it, and some of people go and pick it up, but they try to do it in a way where they decrease the chance of transmission. Beautiful family here, really lovely people.
Whenever you want to come back, you're welcome.
Gracias. Ciao, ciao. Keep up the great work. It's beautiful. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Obrigado. 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 So here we are in Salvador, which is the African capital of Brazil, basically, but that's going to be in the next video. What a journey. You can see it was exhausting, but that's nothing, obviously, compared to what the refugees go through. We followed the refugee path, you know, we went to the border. Obviously, we can't experience what they experience on the other side, but we saw where they enter and all the way down to Manaus, and they're not lucky like us to be able to go in these nice, comfortable buses. They obviously have to go through absolute hell. You know, you have to go through checkpoints after you're in that border town, so it's not just getting into the country, then you have to go through multiple checkpoints. I'll leave information about Tulio's project, absolutely beautiful concept. They're supporting 4,000 families, 4,000 Venezuelan families. They hire Venezuelans to work within the organization, and obviously they provide them with the tools that they need to start their new life here. Millions and millions of refugees have fled Venezuela, of all class levels. I hope this gives you an idea of a little bit of the pain they're going through. I'll leave my Venezuela video playlist listed below, and you can watch that if you haven't already, and that will give you an idea of on the ground when I visited Venezuela. Thank you to Tulio for facilitating our visit and for the beautiful work he's doing. I think it's an amazing concept. And also a huge thank you to Diego for translating. A massive thank you to you guys for watching this and supporting the videos, and furthermore supporting causes like Tulio's, so it's beautiful. All right, I'll leave you here in the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you so much for watching, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.